How many ads have you seen about supplements that claim to heal your gut? How many do you think you've seen over your lifetime? If you're in the same feed that I'm in, you see a lot of them. Let's get off that hamster wheel right now because healing in your gut does not, oh my gosh, here come the mosquitoes. Healing in your gut does not start with a supplement. Now, there are supplements that can be supplemental and help support gut health, but the foundation, and remember, that's what you and I are doing. We are building a strong foundation when it comes to healing our gut because we know that healing our gut is the foundation of everything healthy. And it takes sunshine and walking and maintaining cortisol. My name's Kristen Bowen. For those of you that haven't joined us before, we've got some new people joining us. I'm the founder of Living the Good Life Naturally, and I'm passionate about magnesium and building a strong foundation. Oh, happy Sunday, Sylvia. Good morning, Lorene. So let's just walk off the hamster wheel of being marketed to about supplements for your gut. I have seen people come from horrific gut issues to healing their gut without supplements. Ooh, yes, I just said it. So let's just walk off that hamster wheel. We cannot heal our gut if our inflammation levels are not, we're not consciously bringing them down. If people around you are not noticing the change in your stress levels and commenting on it, you are not bringing your cortisol levels down because people need to be noticing it. Like, oh my goodness, your reactions to things. Because every time your cortisol spikes, it degrades the quality of your gut. And now, cortisol is not the bad guy, okay? We need cortisol. We need cortisol. 4 times a day, your cortisol numbers should spike, and you need that. So, right now in the morning, when you wake up, is when your cortisol levels should be at their very highest. You need that cortisol. It gets your brain thinking, it kickstarts your body, gets you up out of bed in the morning. It's when we abuse cortisol and use it trying to pretend, oh gosh, mosquitoes. I forgot to pull my car out from my husband, and so I couldn't pull my car out. So I had to, anyway, just trying to find a place that doesn't have mosquitoes. The birds are getting louder. So you, um, we can't break natural law and expect to heal our gut. And oh gosh, okay. I thought if I didn't go all the way down, the mosquitoes wouldn't get me. Last time I did this, I got chewed up like almost 20 mosquito bites. So I'm going to hustle back this way. This pathway is not going to work. We're going to go to plan B. Now, in the old days, that would have stressed me out. Like, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? Plan A didn't work and I'm live. Now, who cares? Truly, it's like, okay, I'm doing my best. This one didn't work. We got to go somewhere else. And so it's not that I never have issues going live anymore. It's how I react to those issues now. And so sometimes we think to lower our stress, well, when this is done, we'll lower our stress. That's not going to happen. That's a lie. That's your subconscious keeping you exactly where you're at. So, managing those cortisol levels. In fact, I was working with the most beautiful woman. Her soul, oh my gosh, she's just incredibly kind. And she's been working at creating health for years and just has not been able to put those key foundational pieces together in her life. And so, we'll wait here. And so, as her and I were talking, I had gifted Core 7 an early Christmas present. And as her and I were talking, I realized, oh, this has nothing to do with what she's taking, how she's living now. This has to do with a past trauma. And because her body is storing that past trauma, it isn't allowing her to move forward and take advantage of all the things that she's doing now. And so sometimes we have to look backwards to go forwards, especially when it comes to gut health. Okay, so here's plan B. I'm going to run across Highway 1 here. So this is where I was going to do it, but they're fixing the road and there's this equipment that's going nonstop in the background. So here was plan A. I guess that was plan B. Now I'm going to head up to plan C, see if I can get another little place to work that'll be a little quieter. So we have to look backwards sometimes to go forward, because if your body's under constant attack, your gut will not heal. And that gut holds the key to your health. It holds the key. That microbiome is foundational for how you uptake, because some people say, oh, I don't have gut issues. If you have depression and anxiety, you have gut issues, because your microbiome determines how you uptake serotonin, how you uptake all of those neurotransmitters that determine and dictate how you feel. And so let's say you can't sleep at night. Part of that's connected to a gut issue. How you uptake and can utilize your melatonin determines how you sleep. And if you've got a gut issue, so this entire Walk With Me series, we've been talking about walking, building up, if you're not there, building up to walking for an hour and getting morning sunshine. Why? Because 9 out of 10 women are insulin resistant. And if you're insulin resistant, you cannot build gut health. The two most powerful things you can do are early morning sunshine and an hour of walking to reverse that insulin resistance. Now, there's probably other things you need to add, but that's where you start. You don't start with all the supplements. You don't start popping a pill for better gut health. You've got to start by bringing, oh, we'll head up here in the eucalyptus trees. It smells really good in the eucalyptus trees. We live right next to a state park. And so this is just right behind my house. And we'll go, let's see, we'll go over this way. Ooh, I may lose service though. Okay, we'll see how this goes. I'll stay in this open area right here. So starting at the root, making sure that we have those things in place to set our body up for optimal healing. And here's the deal. It's super easy to pop a supplement. Oh, just pop that supplement. Has that gotten you healthy? Has that gotten you to where you want to be? Do you have a strong innate immune system that you can fight whatever happens this fall? A lot of people found they didn't last fall have a strong innate immune system. And so that's what I'm focused on right now personally. I am building a strong innate immune system. And my stress has decreased, being more consistent, not perfect. We're not looking for perfection. Being more consistent of getting up and getting that morning sunlight. I have clients that have transitioned from treadmills to outside. They can't believe the difference in their health and the benefits to their mood. If we're not lifting your mood, we're not lifting your health. Your mood has to lift. The two go hand in hand. One rises and the other rises. So if we're not lifting your mood, we're not making a whole hill of beans of difference in your health because your gut is involved with your mood. And we need to be recoded. Stuff happens every day. Stuff happens to walk us away from our original coding that we've been given. And the sunshine helps to repair that and put you back. So if you've ever been hit by anything, which I don't know anybody who hasn't, then we need that sunshine to help recode us and put us back to that original place to build that innate immune system. And to do that, we have to have low inflammation. And when you drop your inflammation, your gut starts to heal. Now, there are other things that you can do to heal and repair your gut. But have you noticed we're going to become a food-free society? Like so many food intolerances and allergies and not blaming. I'm a celiac, which came from adverse childhood experiences and high trauma as a kid. So I'm not blaming those people who have food intolerances. Let's take action to going back to our bodies being able to handle food. And now sometimes you do have to completely walk away from that food. It's so detrimental to you. But a lot of times is what happens is we walk away from that food, your body quits producing the enzymes to break that food down. And oh, here, mosquitoes here too. I'm going to come out this way. And your body is it. Oh gosh, I am not going to forget the car tomorrow and park it behind my husband's van. And oh gosh, they're dive bombing me. And so let's get back to that point where our gut can handle food options, where we're metabolically adapted and so strong, we don't have all of these issues around food. I mean, the change that's happened over the last 20 years is staggering. It's staggering what people lose when it comes to food because of the state of our gut. And so we've got to take that first step, and that's walking away from insulin resistance. And the best way to do that is an hour building up. If you're not there, it's okay if you're not. Do whatever you can. Maybe you can't even get out of bed, and your goal is opening the window and getting some sunshine. Maybe that's where you start. Or maybe you are so light sensitive that it triggers hormones, it triggers migraines, and you just are building up by seconds. Good. You're building. Sometimes we say we want help, but then if it's not perfect, we slam what's happening and the pace we're going. This is where compare and contrast is going to kick you in the butt, and it's going to keep you exactly the same in the exact same place of where you're at right now. My building process is going to be different from yours, even if we're doing the exact same thing. It's going to be different. Our bodies, in some ways, are so similar, and the cells need voltage and the same things, but in some ways, so individually keyed and so unique. But here's the powerful thing: walking in sunshine lifts all of us, lifts all of us. And then we've got to talk about this other thing for your gut. We've talked about stress, having a tool belt full of tools to manage stress, of how you respond to stress, how you react to stress, making sure that we've looked behind us, cleared up that stuff in the past so that we can move forward freely. And then we've got to look at our sugar intake. Oh man, I'm getting chewed. Then we've got to look at our sugar intake. If you're eating sugar right now, decrease your expectations to heal your gut by 80%. 80%. You've got to get real, because Having unrealistic expectations when it comes to building health will increase your cortisol. And if you're eating sugar and you expect your gut to heal, not going to happen. It's going to take a very long time. And so getting your expectations realistic with your actions is really important at keeping cortisol down. So it's so, oh, you're right. Good gut. Oh, good morning, Sandra or Sandra. I'm not sure which that is. Sylvia, good gut equals good mood. And that doesn't mean, oh gosh, that doesn't mean, morning, my neighbors are like, what's she doing? They wonder what I do. Like, what's she do? That doesn't mean you never have a bad day. You never are sad. That's part of our human experience. But if that mood is not increasing, if you're not increasing your capacity to hold joy, if you're not increasing the moments that you feel joy and connected, you're not healing your gut. And gut health is foundational to balancing hormones, to sleeping better, to energy production, to mood. It's foundational for you to get on top of that. So I would love to know, what has the sunshine and the walking done for you? Now, here's a little test that you can test yourself. And I know people freak out about tests, but if you do, that's in the past. And you got to get current right now, today. Women who are current create health. And so if when I say, oh, let's do a little test and evaluate where you're at, and then that adds stress, you're not current. We have to be current in our emotional health. And so here's the little test. Have you noticed increases? Have you? Have you noticed increases? What benefits have you found from joining me on my morning walk? Has it made a difference? Share with me. Tell me. Oh, I love that. Walking has boosted energy, building your trust bank to do what you say you're going to do. And so when we're noticing those benefits and we're acknowledging them. So gut health, and here's another pattern. We've talked a little bit sprinkled throughout this Walk With Me series, we've talked about patterns. I think patterns are really important. Patterns and systems and habits are really important when we talk about creating health. And here's a pattern that you can put into place, because have you ever thought, oh, it's so healthy to be, it's so expensive to be healthy? Have you ever thought that? Have you? Tell me, have you ever thought it? Well, patterns and habits don't cost anything but an investment of mindfulness. And here's a pattern and a habit you need in place for your gut, and it's celebrating. So many times when women feel stuck on their health and they're like, it's not working. What I'm doing right now, it's just not working. They've forgotten to celebrate what they've done. And so Leanne says, more energy, better sleep. Sylvia says, happier and calmer. Lorene says, I'm waking up without an alarm clock. That's huge. Sandra, walking has boosted energy. So look at all of those benefits. Look at all of those benefits. Have you taken a moment just to experience the feeling that your health is moving forward? Have you ever been around a kid that no matter what you do for them, they just want more? They want more, 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 more. Or maybe you have a relationship with a girlfriend. More, more, more. It's like no matter what you do, it's not enough. Have you had that experience? That's exhausting. That's absolutely exhausting. Well, your body feels that way. If you do something and you change something and you just want more and you never acknowledge it and you just move on to the next thing, like, okay, now I'm doing this and now I'm doing the next thing. That's setting your body up to feel really burned out. I want you to think of your body in terms of a human relationship. How are you treating it? Because changing that relationship builds your gut health faster than any program I have ever seen. And I've been doing this for 20 years. I have seen the gut programs. And now as the business has grown, here's here's what's really driving this. Okay, we're going to get down to the real story. I sit at bigger tables now, talking with people in the industry of health. And it can get pretty dark and twisty because the focus for many people that you see online is financial freedom for themselves, not optimal healing for you. Now, I have no problem people creating wealth and freedom. No issue there. But what's driving it? And are they as interested in your health as you are? Are they focused on making sure that you're feeling better, or are they just selling a supplement pack? Because sitting at those tables, it's kind of disgusting to listen to the conversation of people that I used to just idolize. And there is nothing that will heal your gut as beneficial as walking morning sunshine and being aware of patterns, habits, and staying current. Nothing's more powerful. Nothing. You can buy nothing that's as powerful as that. But nobody's going to sell you that or market you that or do this big flashy ad or do an article or have some um, paper written on it, because there's no money involved in that. But that's what heals your gut. And it's hanging out with women who are focused on the same thing and feeling supported and moving forward. And so, if you ever have the thought, it's so expensive to be healthy, let it go. Just say, no, it's not. That's a lie. I'm not buying into that. Because every single thing we've talked about today, there is not one financial penny that you have to put out. Not one. Not a single one. Not one. So we have just proven that's a great big old fat lie that's keeping you exactly where you want to be. Gut health. You've got to get on top of insulin resistance. You've got to get your vitamin D levels up. Do you know where your vitamin D levels are? You need to know where your vitamin D levels are. I was working with another woman and she was off on all these other things she needed to do. And I'm like, whoa, come back here. Where are your vitamin D levels? Because you won't heal your gut. You won't heal Hashis if you don't have strong vitamin D levels. And have you noticed right now there's like an onslaught of Hashimoto's? That used to be something you never heard about. Well, not never. Let me take that word back. Very seldom would be more appropriate. You very seldom heard about Hashis. Now you're hearing it all the time. It's an onslaught of Hashimoto's. You have to heal your gut to get on top of Hashimoto's. And it doesn't matter if you're doing all these other good things. If you do not have the adequate levels of vitamin D active and stored in your body, and we've got a past video that talks about those and where you want to be with that. If you don't have that in balance, you're not going to heal Hashis, because the vitamin D receptors in your gut need to be filled with vitamin D. And so, even if you're working on that and that alone, Hashis can heal. But there's all these protocols and all of these things. That's chasing symptoms. Chasing symptoms keeps you broke and overwhelmed. Broke and overwhelmed. The first place for anything that's happening in your body is sunshine and vitamin D and magnesium to convert the vitamin D. That's where you start with everything. Hormones, autoimmune, gut health, arthritis, Hashis, thyroid, migraine, sleep, everything starts right there. Get your vitamin D levels where they need to be. And now is the time, because most of us are going into a season of lower vitamin D. Now, where I live, I gotta itch my new mosquito bite. Where I live, I can pretty much get sunshine year round, but not everybody has that. And so, especially if you, like, I know lots of our listeners are in that Rocky Mountain area of Utah, Wyoming, Idaho. If you live in an area where your sunshine goes down, you're losing your days. You're losing your days to build your health, to get ready for that. Because if you want a strong immune system, that's why we started this Walk With Me series, you and I. We both wanted to be healthier and wanted stronger immune. You have to have your gut full, your vitamin D receptors full. And how do you do that? You don't do it through medication. You do it through sunshine and being outside and being in the sunshine. And if it's not where it needs to be, then you need to be out in more sunshine that's appropriate for you. And remember, you have to do what's appropriate for you. I don't know where you're at. You have to have a strong filter and take the information and make decisions that work for you. But a strong gut does not come from a supplement pack. It does, it can create some benefits. Absolutely it can. Absolutely. But I don't just want benefits, people. I want a kick butt immune system. I want my immune system so strong it does not matter what is happening in the world outside or next to me, that my innate immune system is strong. And a lot of people to do that. So you can't just talk it out one side of your mouth. You have to talk it and you have to walk it. You have to do both if you want to build that strong foundation and not chase symptoms. I do not chase symptoms. If I was diagnosed with Hashis, I would not chase symptoms of Hashis and start reading all this stuff about Hashis. I wouldn't do it. I would focus on getting my vitamin D numbers active and stored and my magnesium where it needs to be. And just doing that takes away a lot of your Hashi symptoms. You know, we talk about food, and food is important, but it's only about 33% of the energy that you get. The rest comes from the sun. How much time are you focused on getting your sunshine food? So I want you thinking. Today's I'm being a little bit more direct than I usually am. But I'm watching as people just chase symptoms. No, keep it simple. I do better with simple. Do you do better with simple? I do a lot better with simple. Keep it simple. Focus on your vitamin D levels, active and stored. And here's the deal. Your doctor probably isn't going to test your active anymore. Insurance policies, it is what it is. I had to mourn it. I got really angry. Insurance now will not pay for active like it used to, and not as often. So if your doctor won't pay for the active, you get what you can from your doctor, do it the most economical way, go to walk-in labs and get your active, your calcitriol. Calcidiol is stored, calcitriol is active. You need to know those two numbers. If you don't know those two numbers, you're not building health, because that's where health starts. And then you need magnesium to convert the active to the stored, because low vitamin D levels is a magnesium issue and the sunshine issue. And so that's where we start. Whether you have arthritis, whether you have migraines, whether you have fibro, whether you have hormones that aren't balanced, whether you can't sleep, that's where we start. morning sun, walking, and knowing those vitamin D levels. Now, there's a great app, and we've talked about it. Oh, I see lots of comments. Oh, I love that, Sherry. I've loved walking with you too. Oh, experiencing more gratitude. I love that. It is. Clydeen, oh my gosh. Clydeen Bowen. I'm a Bowen. I wonder if we're related. I might have family on this live right now. Oh my gosh. How cool is that? Shelly in Minnesota. Okay, I've been to Minnesota, but I think you have pretty harsh winters, which means Shelly's got to kick it into gear. She's got to get ready. It's seasonal living. I think that seasonal eating is much healthier for you. And seasonal living is also, and it's seasonal living right now is our time to gather sunshine and get our vitamin D levels where they need to be. It's right now. And no matter what you're working on, you need to know your stored and your active vitamin D, calcidiol, calcitriol. And probably the calcitriol test, your Western doctor, he's just not going to know what it is, and it's not on his radar. Just go pay for it yourself. Save up, do whatever you need to do, sell something in your closet if you need to, sell something in your home. Most people have something in their home because I recognize budgets are a part of this experience. Most people have something in their home that to pay for that test, because you need to know your active. You also need to know your magnesium numbers. Now, I do the magnesium numbers after you've done the 30-day challenge. And the reason for that is because everybody's deficient. I've seldom for a long time, okay, get your numbers tested, then do the magnesium challenge, then get them tested again. And I realized, okay, nobody's coming in where they need to be. So let's drop doing that and just go right to the magnesium 30-day challenge and then get tested. But again, here's one of my major philosophies that I live by for everything. Minimum output for maximum input. I want to do the least amount for the most benefit. So, for example, rebounding. Um, After you and I are done, I'm going to go walk. And then when I get home, my rebounder is right by my husband's ramp. And I will rebound with weights on my wrists and ankles for 12 minutes, because 12 minutes is the minimum time for maximum benefit for my body. Now, I could do longer, but 12 minutes does it. So why would I? I've got other things to do. So I'm always looking for minimum input, maximum output. And so in August, oh, me, you're in San Diego. After summer, worried about the skin. Okay, me brings up, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Help with me phonetically if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Me brought up a really good point about sun. I'm worried about aging. I'm a skin girl, me. I'm 55, I'm a grandma, and I'm with you. I'm embracing my aging. At the same time, I want to be as healthy as possible, and healthy skin is a part of that. So here's where, oh gosh, I am so glad. I'm so grateful for people's comments, because we're going to go a whole different place now. Oh gosh, we've already gone 30 minutes. So here's some thoughts for you to take in, me. So the sun ages when we're eating unhealthy oils, unhealthy fats, and when we're eating unhealthy carbs and sugar. And so that's where sometimes is what we do is we put our foot in both worlds, and we say we want to eat this stuff a little bit, but we want to be healthy. But to get healthy, we need the sun. But if you're eating that way and you're getting the amount of sun that I get, it's not going to be healthy for your skin because of the way you're eating. And so that eating needs to comply with doing it simply, and that's cutting out the crappy carbs, cutting out the sugar, cutting out the unhealthy oils. And so that's when the sun ages you, is when you're eating against natural law. You're eating against nature. That's when the sun starts aging and causing issues. And so that's where we have more responsibility. We can go to the optimal healer, which is sunshine. So that, and oh, could you please tell us the kind of rebounder to get? You talked about two that are really good. There are two that are really good. One is incredibly expensive, so I don't have that one. I have used it before and it's amazing. And then there's another one that's like more than half the price, that's almost as good. And so again, there's my philosophy of minimum input, maximum output. I went for the mid-range one because it wasn't even with knees that I protect, because the super expensive one wasn't going to make that much of a difference. And so we can link those. I'll have someone from team link those. They're in my Amazon shop. And please understand, my Amazon shop, I receive a little bit of a commission from if you purchase through that link. If that's not a good fit for you, I got it, go around it, and do it that way, is what we do with that money. And I mean, like, here's how much we've gotten. I think last month it was $14, but $14 makes a difference to entrepreneurs in other places. And they use that to hustle and create better opportunities for people there. And so we take that, it's called affiliate money. So we take that affiliate money and we share, because I realize I'm incredibly privileged. The opportunities that I've had, and not all entrepreneurs get the opportunities that I've had. And so it's part of that paying it forward for me. And so Beatrice uses that money, and oh my gosh, she hustles tomatoes and picks coffee beans and processes cocoa butter for us. And she helps educate. And now her focus has switched from educating to just feeding people, because um, the virus has hit where she lives at a whole different level than how we experienced it. And so her focus now is just feeding people and making sure that they have food. And so that's what we do with that affiliate money. If that's a good fit for you, I would appreciate it. And I say thank you for clicking on that link and making purchases through our Amazon link, because that's part of what I do to pay it forward. And so um, my diet is low carb, high fat. Oh, awesome. High fat for the last me. That's great. And so um, that me, the way that you're eating enables you to tap into the most powerful energy that you and I each have, and that's the sun. And because of the way that you're eating, so, we can't eat all the carbs and the processed carbs and the sugars and the unhealthy oils and then not expect to pay a price when we come in contact with that level of power and healing. And so the way I eat is driven by my desire and ability to be out in the sunshine and be outside and be healthy. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. Yeah, I will have team. For some reason, when I link them, they never show up right. So I will have team on Monday. Team's off for the weekend, but I'll have team on Monday. They'll go back through and I'll say, hey, make sure to put those two links up, so that people can see those two rebounders. Now, I saw another question, and I'm not going to go back and find it exactly. But I did want to discuss this in that she said, what do you do on your rebounder? Lymph is a part of your gut health. And so this is connected to our gut, because remember, we started talking about gut health today. Lymph is connected to that gut health. And so my rebounder is the most powerful way that I can keep my lymph moving, the G force. So when I go down the rebounder, little mini trampoline, the G force on a rebounder is incredibly healing to your lymph and to your gut. And so I rebound for 12 minutes a day, and I put these little Velcro weights. It's like a glove that I put my hand through and a little ankle strap. And then I just move my arms around while I jump. And so the other thing that does is it increases bone density. So in my 30s, I was diagnosed with osteoporosis and had my bone density was horrible. And after they took the test, they put me in a wheelchair, wheeled me out of the hospital and said, if you fall, you're going to break your hip like a elderly person would. And that's a huge part of my story and what motivated me to really take more responsibility for my health, because the medications they put me on made me so sick, nosebleeds. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. So I was able to rebuild my bone density through building a strong foundation. And that's what you do. And you don't build strong bones unless you know you're active in your stored vitamin D. You need to know those numbers. You need to know this is where I'm at and this is where I'm headed. These are my goals. Now, it doesn't change in 20 days or 30 days, but it will change in 60 or 90 days. And then you'll start seeing a difference for the input that you're putting into your body. So today, I don't have any ocean sounds for you because I forgot to pull my car out before my husband did, and his has hand controls, and so I can't drive his car. It's not legal, and it's quite the learning curve, and I'd probably wreck it. So we don't have ocean sounds, but how often does life go on plan A? So let's be plan B together, you and I, and just be okay with the fact we're on plan B. I do have some nice birds behind me, but let's do some breathing. And one of the mantras that we've taken together collectively, you and I, is sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. So I want you to think of that while you breathe. But yesterday we did a little bit different breathing, and I want you to do it today too. I have even a different one to see how it works for you. I want you to think of an elevator, and when you breathe up, you're going to the top of the elevator and you're holding it for 5 seconds. And then you let it go, and your elevator goes down, and you hold it at the bottom for 5 seconds. And if it's a good fit for you, if you get too dizzy, stop and just go back to regular breathing. But try that and see. Metered breathing can be really powerful. So if I feel myself starting to get anxious, I'll do a metered breathing. So here's what we'll do. We'll back up. Oh, this is one of my favorite trees by our house. And so I'll back up. Let's see. Oh, I'll back up and we'll start our breathing. Ready? Sunrise, sunset. What'd you think of that breathing? Did you like that one, or did you like yesterday's better? Share with me. And did anyone notice, can you hear the owl in the background? There's this little owl going, hoo, hoo, Ooh, I loved it. There's this little owl. I love nature sounds. They're very calming to me. Now, you and I have been hanging out for 45 minutes. 45 minutes, we walked away from our families and we just decided to be with each other and connect and share. Healthy women are connected women. And I appreciate the connection to you. I want to know what was most helpful to you. What was the most helpful to you of all the things that we talked about today? Now, is what it does for me because there's a give and take. There's a give and receive. It's a flow that happens with health. And is how it flows to me is it helps me to know what people were interested in to come up with topics. And the flow to you is as you're going over 45 minutes worth of information in your brain, you're pulling what was most important to you and putting it in a different filing system. When you put it in that filing system in your brain, you can recall it when you need it. And so there's a give and receive when I ask that question. And taking action in a give and receive increases your health. So one of my goals, we haven't ever met it yet. One of my goals, right now we have 20 people on. I would love to see 20 people sharing because that means collectively we all came together. And there's synergy when women come together and we lift each other. So I would love to see that's every single time I've had that goal, I've set that intention. Okay, no matter how many people are on at the end, and right now there's 20 and you're staying strong at 20. Sometimes at the end people will start to drop off. Oh, 19, one just dropped. Share with me what was most powerful to you. Let's create that synergy together because women who create in other areas of their life are women who have an easier ability to create health. So I'd love to know. And now oh, yes, the lymph gut relation. I'm so glad to celebrate your body. Yes, you can improve your health with sunshine. I love that. Oh, you're so kind. Appreciate you back. Oh, you're so welcome, Michelle. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. Peppy, I hope I'm saying that right. Help me on the phonetic spelling with that if I'm not. Um, Except for I don't think that's your name. Oh, anyway, so Peppy Parrot, I have a large half ball. Would that work? I have a half ball and I love that half ball. And I do some great moves with that half ball, but it doesn't do for lymph what a rebounder will. It does not do. Now, a new thing that I've gotten into, I have, this is my new thing that I'm loving. And even with my knees, it's right now, for me, it's a good fit. I have uh, in and it's a great all over body workout. It's very efficient and I'm loving it. And even with that jumping on the jump rope, it does not move your lymph like a rebounder does. It does not move your lymph. There is nothing that moves your lymph as efficiently as a rebounder because of the G force. And I don't know about you, but I like things simple. And I like to put minimum input, maximum output as I'm creating health. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.